Hello and welcome back to Drama After Dark. Tonight we are talking about the third episode of the brand new masterpiece show Sanditon, and we are very delighted because we have a couple of special guests on the couch here tonight. Now normally I would be joined by Andrea as my co-host, but Megan Smith is joining us tonight. Normally she's behind the camera, but she has agreed to come on out.
It's real nice to be on the couch for a change. It's a comfy couch.
It is a very comfy couch. I'm glad you get to sit on it tonight.
Thank you.
And in between us, we have Lady Denim.
Literally, Lady Denim.
It's Christina Quinn.
Just me.
And she's wearing maybe my favorite boots that I've ever seen on a human person. They're made of denim.
They're denim.
There's a
They're
pocket.
jeans.
There's a pocket.
I can put my
Actual
phone in the
pocket.
pocket. It's very exciting.
I don't know what would make a better show than this. I think we're really like crushing it just because of your outfit tonight.
I'm flattered. Thank you so much.
Off to a good start.
Oh yeah, clearly. And speaking of like hopefully a good start,
Yep.
we're gonna do the speed recap now.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I have to do the speed recap today, which is a little bit of a tough break for me because Andrea's not here. So that's what's happening. Are you
You got
prepared?
this.
I think you
Christina?
got this.
I have confidence in you.
Okay.
too.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and do it.
Ready?
Yep. Back in Sanditon, Sidney and Charlotte are still reeling from accidental nude Beachgate. Desperate to save town, Tom dashes off to bring back a possibly quack doctor against Lady D's wishes. Clara and Folger's siblings face off in their latest battle for Lady D's cash, with Clara taking the round during the doctor's audition by burning herself for sympathy. Finally, a worthy opponent for Esther. Meanwhile, across town, bad conditions at the job site lead to an accident which is solved by Charlotte, Sidney, and the doctor, who earns a chance to stay in town. Sidney and Charlotte mend fences, and she agrees to keep an eye on Georgiana, who we find out at the last minute has a secret boyfriend.
Wow.
I think that you did a good job.
That was perfect.
I think you nailed it.
Right in the nick of time.
I feel good about that.
That was incredible.
It's
Good job.
it's weirdly
It's
hard.
hard.
To do the speed
It's
recap.
hard.
I was holding my breath the whole time. I just realized.
A lot happens in these episodes.
Yeah, they really
45
like
minutes of drama.
cram it in.
Yeah.
And well, and the funny thing is, like, I write the long form recaps for the show,
Which
so
are excellent, by the way.
Oh, I thank you.
Yeah.
I laugh out loud at my desk. You know I do. They're incredible.
Yeah,
They're
they're
incredible.
fun. I enjoy
Yeah.
them, but it means
Yeah.
that I have to like cut them down a lot, which
Yes.
is tough.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
anyway, that's squared away.
Editing
Let's-
yourself is tough.
It is.
Yes.
Right.
I'm very lucky to have a really great editor who makes sure that I cut out anything that's a little too,
Me too. Yeah.
you know, appropriate.
Which there's a bit on this show that's inappropriate, we have to say.
Yeah, and
You see me.
speaking of that, should we go into our favorite
I
moments
think we
from
should.
tonight?
I
Yeah.
think we should.
Okay, so the first one I have here, I think we can't go through this episode with talking about Charlotte sort of entering
Yes.
a fugue state while she remembers naked Sidney on the beach.
Can I just say, props to the writers for knowing that this would be such an incredible moment. They decided to write it in twice.
Yes.
2 different episodes we get it.
Right, and from different angles.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible. And I mean, it's really quick this time, but it's effective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just had to say that Theo James basically said, Colin Firth, hold my beer. This is the wet shirt moment that we all wanted. All Jane Austen fans were just waiting for this.
Yeah.
It's true. And he didn't even have the shirt.
It is in the canon now.
Right.
I mean, it is,
We got to savor it.
yes. We really enjoyed it. Yeah.
And it's at about a minute 30 if
Yep.
you're watching the show on
Yep.
Passport and
Yep.
want to pause. I'm just saying.
I mean, we may have done that. I mean,
might
we
have.
may have paused on it. I mean, what happens in the conference room?
stays in the
See-
conference room.
Yeah.
Or on
Sometimes-
Drum After Dark.
Sometimes the connection just slows things down.
Yeah.
Right.
And
And
it
you
just
have to
happens
pause.
to stop.
Yeah. At certain moments.
At certain moments.
Yeah, we can't help it. And neither could Charlotte apparently because she really like spaced out halfway through the conversation.
Yeah.
It's just like,
She was gathering shells.
yeah.
She was gathering shells,
Yes.
which is now I think a euphemism
Yes.
for
Yes.
looking for naked men
Yep.
in the ocean.
Right.
And we all live on the coast, so I mean, there's a lot of gathering shells that could be happening.
Welcome to Boston.
Yeah.
No, but
We do
really, I was
here.
gathering shells.
Yeah.
I was gathering shells. She just threw them.
Speaking of things that are like a little crazy, I think we also have to talk about Clara and Esther sort of having that moment where we see everybody's true colors come out. We've got someone who is willing to grip another person's oozing burn.
Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah.
This really got me. The nails.
The nails.
in the burn.
Well, and the best part was Clara didn't even flinch. She was
Nope.
just like, bring it on.
Yeah.
Game faces, both
Yeah.
of them.
They're both pretty terrifying
Yep.
They
in
are.
different ways.
They are. And we're actually going to come back to that for
Okay.
a segment a little later on.
Yeah.
But we had to like cue it up
Yeah.
now. But
Yeah.
yeah, they're both pretty scary.
Yeah. That's like next level toxicity.
Yes.
Mm.
Yes.
Yeah. Normally, I don't like when female characters fight each other.
Right.
I would say, but this is kind of a fun one. I'll let it go
Right.
because I'm enjoying this.
Well, and I also
Yeah.
like that they're not the number one reason they're fighting isn't like a man.
Right.
It's
True.
money.
It's money.
Which
Yes.
like
Which, you know,
Right.
Yeah.
you know,
Ain't nothing going on but the rent.
yes.
Yeah.
And the rent is indeed
they're looking out for themselves.
Am I?
In Sanditon, at least.
Another great interaction from tonight's episode, I think, is what we hope is going to be a love triangle. We were talking about this a little bit before the cameras went on. The interaction between Charlotte and young Stringbean.
Yes. Charlotte looks so happy that
Yeah.
first time when he
Yeah.
walked up to her. It's really warming my heart.
Yeah.
It really is.
It's cute.
Yeah.
He's
It's-
cute.
He's cute.
It's cute. And
I
that
like all
hat-
of his neck kerchiefs.
Yeah.
There's an ascot, but I think it's over a neck kerchief,
Yep.
which is over
It's nice fashion.
a high button top. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice. Nice layering.
He really knows, he takes care of his clothes.
Yeah.
And Jackie, you noticed that his top hats seem to be getting taller. There's got to be a reason, because we know this show puts a lot of thought into the fashion. So I feel like
true.
there must be some thought process behind that.
Interesting.
It's
Yeah.
either that or I just didn't
Or maybe
notice
we just-
how epically
Yes.
large the hat
Yes,
was
it's
in the
quite
first
large.
shot.
It's quite
But
large,
the hat comes back, I
Yes.
will say,
Oh, good.
and it seems
Okay.
to get even larger next episode.
Interesting.
So.
I
Maybe
can't
it's symbolic for his growing stature.
Yes.
Oh,
Perhaps.
Yeah, I like that.
I like that. We will have to see. Our final favorite moment was at the very end of this episode, the reveal that Georgiana has a secret boyfriend.
Juicy.
So exciting.
Yes.
I'm
for
so
her.
excited
Yeah.
for this. A
She
new
needs
character.
happiness. She
Yeah.
needs joy. Yeah.
There's
new
going to be a new
character.
character, which I'm really excited about. We knew she had left something behind in London, and I'm glad
Right.
that we were finally getting a little hint of what it was, because there was something more we could sense. There was something more going on there.
Right, and it answers to her like desperate. Remember her desperate attempt to get on that cab.
Right,
To
why did
London.
she want to get out
Yes.
so badly, other
Yeah.
than the fact that like everyone
miserable.
in Sanditon's kind of crummy to her.
They're kind of dumb.
Yeah.
But
No.
yeah.
But now we know there's a real There's a hot peg.
And hopefully he will be a little bit more likable than a lot of the men who happen to be in Sanditon.
Yes.
Like, I think we can all agree that Sidney's a hottie, but
Well, we'll get to that. We'll
Yeah,
get to
we'll
that.
get to
We'll
that.
get to that.
Sidney.
There's a lot to unpack there.
indeed
Yeah.
there is. And we want to know what you guys are thinking out there in the internet land. So I'm going to check the old social phone, but drop us a line. You can do that by leaving a comment on Facebook, mentioning us on Twitter, leave a comment on YouTube even, and our social producer, Zach, will put them in my little Slack channel here, and I will read them on air. So let's see what we got. Great Twitter here from @jmarsh4037. Sorry, ladies, nothing beats Colin Firth's sweat t-shirt.
Okay.
Ooh, them's
Ooh.
fighting words.
I
Someone
disagree.
wants to throw down.
I disagree.
Really?
I have to say.
You're gonna look straight at the camera.
I disagree.
I think that's fair. Here's my thing. I think it's such a classic. It is hard to take down.
Well,
Right, in
they've
the
had
pantheon
they've
of-
had what 20 years, to really gather in the Jane Austen whole mystique. But I really think this Sidney Parker character has a lot of potential to really get there. I
I
mean,
like it.
he was shirtless, wasn't even
Right.
wet shirt.
He
it
was
shirtless.
everythingless. I think we should
Yes,
point out.
there was nothing.
Oh my God, we've got two other great comments from Melissa Lichtenwalter, who's commented before.
Hi,
Hi. She says two things. One of which is Clara has no feelings, literally. I'm intrigued by that. I can't say I disagree with
Okay,
you.
interesting.
And then a really great comment. Passport lets us enjoy those moments again and again.
Yes, it's so true.
Very true. Sign up
Thanks
for
for that
Passport.
shout out. Yeah.
A membership benefit of
Yes.
your local PBS station.
You can watch any moment over and over and over again.
Definitely why we have Passport.
Yeah.
That is deserving of an invisible top hat doff.
Indeed.
Doff my hat to you.
So we love those comments. Please keep sending them in. And we in particular would love to know if you have a favorite moment we didn't cover, what that moment is. And also, we'd like you to weigh in on what is going to be our hot take debate in a couple seconds, which is, which character do you think is more dangerous? Clara, who seems kind of innocent, but we now know is a scheming McSchemerson, or Esther, who doesn't make any question about the fact that she's scheming. So if you have thoughts about that, other than what Melissa put in, any thoughts, dump them in the comments and we will keep an eye out for those. But now, we are going to head into a quick little interview, because it's been a couple minutes since we've had you on our
It has been.
beautiful blue velvet couch.
It has been. It has been a minute. I'm happy to be back.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me back.
We're delighted that you could join
This
us
is a
again.
highlight. I love this. I love Drama After Dark. #Drama After Dark.
Yes.
Join us.
Join us.
Yes.
Join the fun.
Yes.
So Christina, you work for WGBH News. Can you just remind our viewers what you do there?
Yes, I am a reporter for WGBH News for our TV program Greater Boston and for our local radio broadcasts of Morning Edition and All Things Considered, and of course online at WGBHnews.org.
Check
Nice.
her out. And now, where do you stand generally on Jane Austen? Books, adaptations, where do you come down on that?
So at the risk of maybe upsetting some viewers, I've actually not really been a Jane Austen reader. I've read some books in the past. When I was younger, I was more of a Bronte sister fan.
Yep.
Represent.
Yep.
I'm hoping that I don't know what's going to happen after saying this, but I've always enjoyed all the Jane Austen movies.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I guess that's.
Do you have a strong opinion on the Pride and Prejudice adaptations? Old versus new, Colin Firth, Matthew McFadden. Where do you stand?
So, Colin Firth.
Okay,
For
okay.
sure. Yeah.
There he is. He
I
comes up
mean,
again.
He does come up again.
It's Jane Austen world.
I wonder if his ears are burning.
Somewhere. He's
Someone
like,
across the pond is
somebody's
talking
thinking about me. God, if that actually happened though, his ears would be burning constantly
Constantly.
because
Yeah.
of how much people talk about that.
He pops up
performance.
everywhere. He's all over.
Yeah.
And how are you feeling about Sanditon so far? 3 episodes in.
So 3 episodes in, I am into it because just when I'm starting to think like, okay, I know who these characters are, much like Charlotte actually, right? She thinks like, oh, I'm getting a sense, and then
Nailed it.
Yeah, and then she's like, oh, I don't really know anybody. But in her case, it's a little different. She's still very young and innocent. In this case, it's just sort of like, oh, there are surprising twists and turns.
Yes.
Totally.
So I feel myself getting pulled deeper
Yes.
into fandom.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, it's one of the things that I've found to be really enjoyable about this, partly because I think we don't know how the story ends. And usually with an Austen adaptation, you're like, ah, yes, I know exactly what's going
Right.
to happen.
Yeah.
And while I think we have some ideas about how this is going to go down, we don't technically know the answer,
Right.
which is fun.
Yeah.
It is fun. It's like choose your own adventure
Yeah.
masterpiece.
And it's smart. We get to kind of go, as an outsider, Charlotte, we get to see it through her eyes as an outsider, which is kind of a nice way
Yeah.
to approach it. And how do you feel like it compares to Poldark? So anyone who watches us knows that Poldark was our last
Yes.
feature.
Yes.
How are you feeling? You were, I know, a big fan
a big
of
fan.
Poldark.
Big fan.
Yeah, yeah.
Big fan. Okay, so they're very different. Poldark was just unabashedly dramatic, right?
Yes.
Totally.
You know, close-up shots, long,
Yes.
steamy stares.
Aidan Turner.
I mean, yes, Aidan Turner.
Yes.
In this show, I mean, there's just a lot more. It isn't as dramatic or melodramatic.
It's lighter.
It is lighter.
There's comedy,
Yes. there's-
dancing,
yes,
music,
right.
which I've been enjoying a lot.
Fewer back-to-back tragedies.
Yes.
Right.
So far.
So far.
As far as we've seen.
I mean,
Yeah.
tonight,
Yeah.
the poor man, clearly not union,
Yes.
fell off the scaffolding,
Poor Stringer.
and is he older Stringer?
Yeah, that's
Oh,
the
that's
older
right. He's
string
old.
bean.
Yes,
yes.
father.
Yeah.
Father Stringer.
Papa Stringer.
Dad.
Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, that was unfortunate, but yeah, it is a little bit lighter. There is more humor.
Yeah.
That's right. Poldark was pretty dark sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, I'm Poldark for life
Yeah.
for me, but
Yeah.
Sanditon for life too, maybe.
And are you drawn to period dramas in general? Is this kind of what you like?
You know, I had been when Downton Abbey came out. I got
Yes.
sucked into
Yes.
that, and then I had children, and so I didn't get to watch as much. And then Poldark drew me in, but there have been like movies along the way that have really sort of
Yeah.
pulled me in, and so I mean, like, it's hard to resist
I mean, I feel like
a good period drama.
you cover the news. Do you find that these shows are kind of an escape? Or do you like them because they engage with like politics and history?
So with Poldark, it was both. I think
Yes.
Poldark, I mean, it really just hit a note in terms of like capturing the class division and the tension there, and then like I feel like, oh well, that's what we're seeing a lot of that.
There was
now.
a lot of politics.
There was a lot of
in
that.
Poldark.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
With Sanditon, it definitely feels more like an escape. Like
Yes.
it's fun.
Going to the
It's like going on vacation.
It is like going
Yeah.
to the beach, gathering
Yeah.
shells.
Yes. Gathering shells. That's true. Yeah.
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 It's going to be our new dangerous euphemism from now on.
Yeah.
That's going to be a problem.
Watch out.
What did you do this weekend? I went and gathered shells.
We're like, Christina, we know what that means.
We know.
We all do now.
Well, we
Yeah.
do. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, that all being said, I think it's time for us to get into a fight now.
Yes.
Hot take debate. Word fight.
Word fight.
Not with our fists, but with our voices.
With
we
our
will- We will
words.
rage. So, as I mentioned or alluded to earlier, our debate topic for tonight is which character do we find to be a bigger threat? Clara, who comes across very sweet and innocent, but will in fact like burn herself on a hot
Yes,
thingy
literally.
to win, and or Esther, who is immediately clearly kind of a snake in the grass, but in a fun way.
Yes.
And as our guest, we'll let you go first. State your case. What do
So
you think?
a week ago, I'd probably say Esther. This week, it's Clara. I mean, who does that? Who pulls that?
That was
So,
epic. That was
Yeah. The unpredictability, and it speaks to some sort of rabid desperation.
Yes.
But also like there's something deep, there's something dark there.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas I feel like with Esther, she's like, I don't know, she's a little broken. She's like unabashedly in love with her stepbrother, and like,
Yes.
right?
Yikes.
Still,
unfortunately.
And like, so I can't help but sense that there's like this wound there that we're just about to see, this vulnerability. But I could be wrong. But I do think that Claire is now slightly more terrifying. Yeah. What about you guys?
Well, I do think we have to watch out for anyone who will just burn the crap out of their arm to win an argument. I am still going to go with Esther being scarier because I think she's been at it longer. She has never pulled back or made her intentions unclear, and I think as she gets more desperate, she's only going to get more dangerous because she has nothing to lose. And so, if anything, I think threatens her relationship with the stepbrother. That's a gross phrase that I wish I hadn't just said, but I do think that there's something to that where if something starts to come between the two of them, she is going to lose her damn mind and just like snap.
Oh.
And
That's a good point.
I
That's a good
also
point.
think she has like a little bit of a following. Like Babs will jump in and help her out if
she
has
has a
to.
lot of people wrapped around her finger, I think.
Right.
I mean, in this episode, we saw that she managed to convince Lady Denham. She already changed Lady Denham's mind about Clara, which was pretty powerful. And I just want to read a quote that Esther said about Clara this episode. She says about Clara, "She is a rat who would chew off her own tail if it meant surviving." I mean, these are fighting words.
Ooh.
I mean, this is just the beginning.
Also,
this,
the fact
of this
that her
feud.
mind works like that
Right.
to come
Yeah.
up with something like that.
Yes.
She came up with the plot for that 127 Hours movie like hundreds of years early. She knew.
Ahead of her time.
And I just have to say, Jackie and I are both big Game of Thrones fans.
Yes.
And we were just talking, which one is more like Marjorie Tyrell, who is to me, one of the best scheming female queens of any TV show.
And the reason that I completely agree with you, Megan, and I think the reason that she's so interesting as a character, if you haven't seen Game of Thrones, is that she comes across as this very sweet and innocent, like pretty woman, but she's very ambitious. And the way that she gets what she wants is that she befriends like the poor. So she like starts a charity and gives away food and goes and visits orphanage. And this is in a time when like all the like rich and powerful people are being really crappy to the poor people. So she creates a following around her just by being like so nice.
Yeah, it's an interesting way about how women in these societies can use whatever power they can grab onto to get ahead. And I think Clara and Esther are both doing that in different ways.
Yes. And I love that they have done the very like game recognized game moment.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing better than that to me, where it's just like, finally my opponent is here.
Have we
Step
talked
into
about
ring.
Game on.
the fingernails and the burn? I mean,
Why do you have to say it out loud?
I'm
though?
sorry.
Fingernails in the burn moment.
That was rough.
Ah.
That was rough.
I mean, so that's another kind of great example of what makes them both so compelling and scary is like, I would never think to attack my rival by grabbing their wound in that way.
It's
because,
physical,
ew,
yeah.
And
Yeah. That's vicious.
Yeah.
That's incredibly vicious.
horrible.
Yeah.
But also the fact that Clara can just sit there like sort of
Yep.
grinning and like giving her the eye while that's happening
Right.
is
I
incredibly
mean,
creepy.
can Clara feel pain? Because when she did that, burn thing in the shower, it took her a few minutes before she even screamed.
Yeah, and the
she even
scream was so
smiled. It was
performative,
fake,
too.
but she even smiled. So keep an eye on that.
Yeah.
There's something going on.
She's
there.
terrifying.
As you said, there's something.
Yeah. There's something there.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
did allude in one of, I think it was in the first episode, she's talking to Charlotte and she says something along the lines of like, I like bad men have hurt me in the past,
Yeah.
and we don't really
Sure.
know what that
Yeah.
is. I'm inclined to think that something like pretty bad must have happened
Yeah.
because clearly
Yeah.
she's like a pretty strong, creepy individual, and
A survivor of something terrible,
she's
perhaps.
been through it, I think, and I'm really scared to find out what that is based on the burn situation.
Yeah. There's a lot to come with them.
Well, either way, I think we can agree that they're both pretty intense characters.
They're scary women.
They're scary.
I wouldn't want to share a locker with
I'm
them.
also loving Esther's fashion. I know we've said this before, but
yes.
we were just talking about how
It's very goth.
when women are wearing very like light blush and white colors, she's wearing this red, black, and she had these amazing feathers this episode off her head that I just was really into. And
there's like maroon, like burgundy taffeta.
There's something about the red hair with those outfits that's speaking to two redheads, but take note.
Take some notes here.
It's working.
Bring out my taffeta.
Yeah.
My black taffeta.
Yeah.
And my feathers.
You're gonna see us next week in whole different outfits.
Yeah.
It's a whole new us.
Yeah, a scary one. Well, let's see if anyone on social chimed in on any of these thoughts here. We have a comment from Terry Quinn. Hi, Terry.
Hi, Terry.
Terry says, Clara started showing the depth of her dark side, and it's deeply disturbing. Can't wait to see what happens with her next. Completely agree. We also get a comment from, Margarita Rogers. She commented last week too. Hi, Margarita. And she says, I'm not sure they're dangerous to anyone other than each other. I think they're trying to secure their economic security in the only way they know how, a big theme with Austen, no?
That's a very good point.
Very good point.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see if anything could cause them to become a problem to people outside of their circle of three sort of players.
Right.
I'm including the brother, but he's like not really pulling his weight at all.
He's not very bright, is he?
I mean,
No,
Esther,
really. The doofus.
Esther has him wrapped up, like, I have to say. I mean, another Game
Yeah.
of Thrones reference, but it's very Cersei Jaime energy. The way that she has power over him. I mean, that's all I'm thinking. Do you want to explain that situation?
Sure. I will lay that out. So for those who don't watch Game of Thrones, those two characters are siblings who are in a long-term,
Twins.
Twins, in a long-term sexual relationship, and it's very unhealthy. Obviously, for reasons even not beyond the, incest, they have a really, really unhealthy power dynamic that's going on. I am really intrigued to see how this kind of plays out because there is a very similar vibe happening on this show. But I'm just going to say, having seen the next episode, you're going to have to wait and see how that continues to shift.
We'll see. Yeah, I have not seen the next one, so we'll see.
Yeah.
Bring it on.
Bring it on indeed. So definitely keep coming at us with any questions, thoughts, feelings, all of your Sanditon moments that you loved. And if you have any thoughts as we go through our next segments, put them in the comments because we want to hear what you have to say. All right. We're going to go on to the next one now. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
I'm ready.
This segment is called the Sidney Score. And what we're doing in this segment, it's going to be a weekly one. So every week we're going to rate how we think Sidney did this week in terms of being a nice, reasonable human person.
Yes. I have a feeling it's going to be quite different every week.
I hope so. And I will chart them if they are indeed up and down as we think that they might be.
We'll keep track.
Okay.
So are you guys ready to reveal our numbers?
Yep. I'm ready.
All right, and go. So, can you see them all? Yeah, you can kind of see them. Okay, so we've got, as you can see, a little bit of a range. I'm giving Sidney a 4.5 this week. I think he's come up in the world a lot. He was the bigger person, and he apologized for being super rude to Charlotte, which I thought was really important. He's doing his best to help his brother. He kind of helped save the day with the elder string bean in the medical situation, quick on his feet. So yeah, he's growing on me, but he still has room to go up a little bit.
0.5.
Yeah,
of room.
0.5.
0.5. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's my score. 4.5.
I think that's very generous.
Ooh.
I'm giving him a 3 because he should be doing those things anyway, you know what I mean?
Fair.
And I thought he was just so cruel to Charlotte, and he's basically apologizing. So I feel like that's just bringing him back to the baseline, to like a baseline of being a decent human.
Yes.
And so thus, I'm not completely sold. He hasn't won me over yet. And I know, I feel like this is they're now setting the stage for, romantic tension between them.
Sure.
But still, I'm not ready to give it to him yet. So.
That's fair. So I know.
Megan.
5, it's quite a statement. For me, it's all relative, okay?
Okay,
So
sure.
this episode, he went up so much from where he was. I mean, let's not forget, he entered by calling Charlotte the new maid, right?
True.
So it started very, very low. And then he made that entrance with the leather pants. And the leather pants. And we all knew that he was the bad boy. So for me, this is a relative score. He was the hero this episode. He rushed in to save Stringer. He worked with Charlotte to save his leg. What else did he do? He asked for forgiveness for Charlotte, He asked for her, he admitted that he was wrong. We also saw him be a very nice family man. He played with children
Played
this
with the
time.
kids.
Yep.
So
Okay.
I have a feeling this is not going to last. I'll just say that. So I figured at least give him a 5 this time, and we'll see where it goes. We'll see where you guys come down on him. But
That's fair.
I'm excited for this roller coaster because I think he's a great character. He's kind of like the Austen bad boy, so I think it's exciting.
All right, I'm not mad at it. So that's been Sidney's score. We'll see how that develops over time. Next, we're going into a segment that we're calling "What's Georgiana Painting?" So
What is she painting?
what is she painting? So the reason we have this segment is that we didn't get to see what she was painting, and it drove me up a wall.
I am so intrigued.
I came out of screening this.
Yeah.
We've watched the show a few times
Yeah.
to prep,
Yeah.
and every single time it got to that moment, I was like, "What the hell is happening?"
This was some very deliberate camera work where we saw
we saw like
flashes,
a piece of it, yeah.
but we saw flashes of the other women's, and it was a very like paint night landscape vibe. I'm sure you guys have all been to those paint nights where
yeah.
everyone's
doing the
everyone
same
paints
exact
the
thing.
same exact
Yeah.
starry night or ocean view.
Right.
So we saw the two women in their ocean views, but what was Georgiana painting?
So my take is, I have to imagine that she's painting a nude or something, right? I mean,
yes.
because what else would be so horrible that it would freak out the
Right.
priest and the governess and make Tweedledum and Tweedledee giggle?
Yeah.
So I thought, I kept wondering, is it a man, was it a naked man or a naked woman? But just now it made me wonder if it was the act of coitus, and that's why the mother was like, oh, the priest can't look, you know?
Yeah. I mean, that priest is weird.
He's such a creep.
He's
such a
creepy.
creeper.
He's a real creeper.
I also I wouldn't count out some racism in the reaction. I thought maybe she was homesick. You know, this is a more wholesome take, but maybe she was painting a landscape of her home.
It's so cute. And he's like, horrible, no.
What? I mean, it could be landscapes. I don't know. Maybe not.
It also could just be like a self-portrait or something, and they're like, how dare you
Yeah.
paint yourself? Only
know.
God's creations of the land.
Oh, interesting. You guys, these are very
Oh, right. That could
family-friendly
be a religious.
theories. I'm just really
You
surprised.
really went for it.
I think that it was something that, like, you know, a man of God shouldn't be exposed to.
You're probably right. I was
probably
just throwing
right.
that out there.
I
you know.
wonder if it
You're
was
probably
in the,
right.
in the UK
Palm trees,
version,
no.
and we had to cut it. That's what I want to know. We'll have to go upstairs and ask
Let's do some
Masterpiece what's in
research.
that.
We need to know.
I have to know the answer.
Yeah.
We'll find out.
Find the prop.
And we
I
will
mean,
tell
it's
you.
some that painting is somewhere.
Right.
Somewhere.
I bet she
It's
just
somewhere.
wrote butts on it. That's what I would do.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna try and find out for you, TV Land, because I need to know the answer, and I
Yeah.
think you do too.
Yeah.
So, okay, last real segment here. We're gonna do the real MVP. So this is one where we talk about who we think is like the real shining light character of the episode in like 2 sentences per person.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
And I'm willing to go first because
for
I've
it.
set this
Please go.
this short standard.
Yes.
Okay, so my MVP for tonight is Dr. Fuchs is how we are choosing to pronounce it on the show.
Yes.
I'm not
Yes.
sure exactly the correct German pronunciation. And here's why. He saves the Elder String Bean, and I think he brought a lot of fun drama to Sanditon.
Yes, this was
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
He brought the fun.
And I
And a
felt
really
that.
large
Yeah.
shower curtain.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and he
so
invented a
big.
shower,
Yeah.
which, God bless.
Yeah.
Everyone loves a good shower. Yeah.
So my MVP is Tom Parker. I feel like he will likely get overshadowed on the discussion around the show because, you know, he's not like he's not a love interest, you know, and he's not dramatic. But he works so hard. He's trying to save Sanditon. No one would be there without him. He's coming up with all his ideas. Maybe he stole the regatta idea from Charlotte, but he's trying. You know, he brought in the
First
doctor.
time he stole an idea from her.
That's true.
That's kind of
not
his
okay.
MO.
We're not okay with that. But yeah, he's hardworking. He's an entrepreneur.
Yes.
Shout
he
out to
cares
Tom.
so much.
Yeah, he tries.
Tommy P.
Yeah.
I actually sometimes think that if he were in like a different drama, he'd have a gambling problem.
Oh, he might.
That's
You mean
dark.
he could have a gambling problem
Yeah.
in
This
this
one,
drama.
yeah,
I mean, there
sure.
could be gambling in Sanditon. I'm
Right.
sure there's some, you know, what goes on
I
after
think
dark
they're,
there.
they're doing some card games at the one bar, Sanditon Cheers.
Yes, the Gentleman's Club.
Yeah.
So you're gonna call me a contrarian, but I
Okay.
think Sidney's the MVP.
Nice. I like it. Good. State your case.
Of course, okay.
Because you know, he did do all the right things. He did
Yeah.
help
Sure.
Old String Bean.
Yep.
And he did step up and like recognize the fact that he was a big turd. and apologize to Charlotte.
So you're basically arguing my 5.
Yeah, I'm arguing your 5.
Thank you.
But
You're validating
he's
me.
still a 3. But I feel like in this particular episode.
So what is everyone else if he's 3 and he's the MVP?
Ones.
The rules are made up.
Ones.
The rules are made up.
Yeah, the
It's
points
fine.
don't really matter.
Yeah, exactly.
It's basically whose line is anyway,
exactly.
but no improv.
So that's where I stand.
Okay.
I like it. You know what? We'll accept it. We'll accept
We'll take it. We'll take it.
All right. So now we're going to go on to my favorite segment to say, especially now that there's no doubting Thomas on the couch to get mad at me. If you like this. She gets so annoyed at how I say it, so I had to really
I love it.
put some
I
mustard
love
too.
it. I love it.
Oh, it's so good.
And tonight's If You Like This, It Is will be done by Megan, who has a great recommendation.
So for this week, I am recommending a movie which is currently in theaters. It was just nominated for an Oscar, which is exciting. So I am taking the story to modern Massachusetts, and I'm recommending Knives Out, a really amazing movie. It is a murder mystery, and the reason I'm suggesting it is because if you like Sanditon for all of the scheming and the family drama, all the backstabbing, it's basically a bunch of family members trying to get money from a senior member of the family, right? And there's an outsider that comes in to stir things up. That's what happens in Knives Out. It's a wonderful movie. It's really fun. There's a slew of actors.
Yeah.
Daniel Craig is in it. He does a great Southern accent. There's tons of actors, really.
Oh, damn.
It's
Craig
wonderful.
With a Southern accent.
Yeah.
What a paradigm shift.
Exactly.
I'm confounded.
Yeah.
And
I like
rumor
it.
is he might even have some spin-offs of that character. So it's a wonderful movie. Christopher Plummer is the elder who passes
hubba.
away, who is just, I mean, you can't go wrong with him.
Look, Sound of Music?
I mean, Hubba Hubba and Sound of Music. Hubba Hubba now?
No, I mean,
Oh yeah, Sound of Music forever. Yes.
yeah.
Von Trapp, Captain Von Trapp.
Yeah,
Super dreamy.
Edelweiss.
Yeah.
Super
dreamy.
Yeah. Agreed. Yeah. Chris Evans, shout out to him, is
yeah.
in this.
Native Son.
Yeah.
Jamie Lee Curtis is in this.
God bless.
Tony Collette is in this.
That is an
That's
incredible
a great cast. Yeah.
Michael Shannon is in this. He's a weirdo. He's excellent. So it's a great movie. It's I believe it's still in theaters now.
I think so.
So I recommend seeking it out if you like this.
Very nice. I like that. That's a different direction than
Sounds
we normally
good.
go.
Thank
I
you.
like it. All right. Well, we are rounding things out here with our ranking of the day.
Yes.
And tonight's ranking of the day is top 5 sick burns in this episode.
There were a lot.
Well played. Well played.
Yeah. Thank you. We had to. I mean, between that
The burn.
thing and like everyone was spitting fire this
Yeah.
episode. It was great. All right, so
That's why we
here's-
love it.
That's why we love it. And here's number 5. It's like having a bastard without the fun. Sidney's friend Crow talking about his guardianship.
It's incredible.
That's a good
guys.
line.
I just have to say again, I'm gonna bring up Game of Thrones one more time.
doing it.
I'm doing it because I really think the whole
Well,
idea
rule of threes, right?
exactly,
Yeah.
Exactly, rounding it out.
exactly. The idea of people just talking casually about bastards was brought to the forefront by Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
It was such a just casual concept that I personally I had never really
Like,
thought
thought
much
about
about
it?
or like the idea of it. So shout out to Kit Harington for really getting this line into Mr. Crow. So thank you.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I really enjoy Babs and Crow because those two
Yeah.
are awful.
Yeah.
But they say some really funny and accurate
They're
things.
so
about the other
entertaining.
people's
We
town.
love it. We love it. Yeah.
They're like
Yeah.
Statler and Waldorf, maybe. Yeah, exactly. All right, so our number 4 sick burn of today is the literal burning of the arm by
Oh,
Clara.
jeez.
Because, my God.
Got to. Yeah.
It's indeed a sick burn.
Yeah.
Sick
It's quite
burn.
sick.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't have
Self-inflicted.
antibiotics then.
Yeah.
No.
Like what?
That could have been deadly, literally. So,
Self-inflicted burn.
bold choice, Clara. Hats off to you.
If that's your thing.
That's what you're into.
No, speaking of the Clara situation, our number 3 is, quote, ignore Esther, she doesn't know how to have sympathy, which is Lady Denham regarding Esther talking crap about Clara's
Yeah.
burn.
Not to be confused with this Lady Denham.
Yes.
Right, who would
Yes.
never talk crap.
No.
Never.
I mean, Lady D has some amazing lines, but this was a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. This
Yeah.
was a really good one.
She wasn't
Yeah.
messing around.
Yeah.
Our number 2, I have so many demands on my time.
Okay.
Sydney trying to get out
Okay.
of doing work.
Right.
Sydney, what are you doing? Okay.
No.
He woke up late after a night out, right?
Yep.
He reads a newspaper. He tries and fails to help his brother. What does he do?
That's it.
Sleep in?
Yeah.
Go to
On a table.
gentlemen's clubs?
That's all.
I mean, I don't know. what did men do at this time? I mean,
Well, that's, I think, one of the funny things about this era. If you had enough money,
Yeah.
which they do,
yeah,
you kind of don't have
Yeah.
to do anything.
You were
have
the
to,
landed
like,
gentry.
Yeah.
yeah.
Right.
But he's
Tough
self-made,
to
right?
get
Didn't he make his money?
He does this and that or something. Like
Okay.
his
Okay.
job description in the first episode
Yeah.
sounds like a line cut from the musical Cats. It's like that goofy. It
Okay.
doesn't make a lot
Which
of
you
sense.
saw in
Yes.
the theater.
I sure
Yeah.
did.
Oh yes.
I sure did.
Check out Jackie's tweets on that.
It
That
was a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he does some stuff for money. I would imagine he's done some farming because we know that that's how he met Georgiana's
Right.
dad
Oh,
is
right,
was
right,
in
yes.
Antigua. But
That's funny. I I just thought that was like investments.
yeah,
So he's an investor, I thought, but
I don't really know how money works in this era at all.
Yeah.
So
A lot of questions.
Yeah.
A lot of questions.
yeah, we'll find out hopefully.
Yeah.
And then finally, let's call it Clara, which is
Yes.
when
Yes.
the doctor's talking about the
Yes.
parasitic worms, and Esther just comes in with a mean
It's
line.
incredible.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
incredible.
that's
And
a
I
really
love
good
that
line.
she says it in front of everyone.
Yes.
I mean, it's not quiet. She could have whispered it, but
Yes.
I mean, I don't know who heard it. No one really reacted,
No,
but
I think they're just used to her being
I love
catty.
that she's just accepted as herself, and she's just totally just saying it out loud.
Yeah.
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 Good for her.
She's
Well,
owning it, yeah.
Yeah.
I love it, and I hope we get even more sick burns of the figurative and not literal sense in the
Figurative
weeks to come,
indeed,
because
yeah.
that was a lot. Now I'm gonna go and look and see what our comment of the day is. I don't know what Zach has for us, but we're gonna see. All right. Okay, we have a couple of things. We have a comment regarding the real MVP discussion. Arthur's the real MVP for cutting that rotten pineapple open. David Cleckley, I completely agree. Arthur is always like the king
Yeah.
of my heart.
Oh,
and
Arthur's great.
soul.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's a
we love
delight.
Arthur. Big Arthur fans.
Julia Rogers says, regarding the Sidney score, he made sure Tom gave Charlotte credit for her regatta idea. A true male ally in the workplace.
Oh,
wow.
right.
Oh, I
Great
like
point,
that.
That is a
Julia.
good point.
Thank you.
Props,
you for
props
that
I was already
reminder.
at 5,
Yeah.
but thank you for reminding me of that.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. I'll
Good.
give it up for
Good.
that. We also have a weigh-in on Megan's "If You Like This"
Okay.
from Melissa. Knives Out is awesome, and I'm living back in Chicago now, but I recognize Massachusetts as the setting.
Yes.
So if you're a local, definitely
Yeah.
check that out.
Yep.
And the last one that we're gonna make our comment of the day here. This is on Twitter @TinyToesTom05. Pineapple Party. Don't mind if I do. I have to show you the picture for this because it is so cute. There are little pineapples and like pineapple sodas.
Oh, wow.
We're not living
gosh.
life as well as we should be, you guys.
Oh, my goodness.
This is clearly,
Pineapple party next week.
That's next level.
yeah, next week I'll bring these to our set because this is incredible. So, A+ work. I'm so jealous and I want to come to your pineapple party. Please invite us.
That's incredible.
That's a great idea. Pinterest that stuff, man.
That's
yeah,
amazing.
Amazing.
All right.
And so with that, I
I have
think-
something. I have something for you, Christina.
Oh, yeah.
You may have seen
topper.
these before.
Look at that. We had to, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Too fun.
So I think that's a wrap on Drama After Dark this week. Thank you to everyone for tuning in. We will be right back here next week after episode 4 of Sanditon with another special guest. Until then, please chime in on Facebook. Let us know what you think. Join the WGBH Drama Club. And with that, I think we will bid you farewell.
Indeed.
Good night,
Good
everyone.
night.
Good night.